Itty Bitty. Itty Bitty. Itty Bitty. Itty Bitty's been following me around all morning, and she's eaten I don't know how many bowls of food, and she's one of the food thieves because I caught her on the counter of the kitchenette where I keep some of the treats, and she was snooping around, and I think if I hadn't been around she would have opened it and stolen some. And then I was just having breakfast, so first I clean and then I work up an appetite, and then I sit in the living room table, and she's coming up and she wanted to steal some of my breakfast from the tray. She gives me that look too with her tiny head. She's got a tiny face. It looks much bigger on here than she actually is. She's a very tiny cat, and she's just so funny, so goofy. She definitely has personality. And I always remember how she trusted me when I found her outside with Bolito. So Bolito was the one who brought her, and she had just had kittens, which I didn't know at that time. And I was just getting both of them ready to get fixed. And so as soon as I got her fixed, I kept her in the shed for a day to observe and to let, the meds wear off. And then I immediately released her. And that was at the same time also that Bonus was fixed. And Bonus, he just raced off. And then Itty Bitty came back the next day and, was eating with Bolito. And then all of a sudden I see a little kitten here, little kitten there. And I realized that she had kittens and they were already a month old. So they hadn't eaten basically for a day, when I trapped her and I took her to, get fixed. And by the time she got released, I did release her a little bit earlier. They recommended 2 days, and I released her after probably 3/4 of a day. And she was doing great, and she was so, grateful that she trusted me with her babies. And then I basically just socialized them every day, and, I kept them out there for about another month and a half or so before I brought them inside. And it was just so interesting watching her, how she taught them. And, I had to feed them, and they were all eating out of the same bowl. And it was just really nice, seeing them grow and how they started trusting me. What you doing? What you doing? Really interesting times. That was in 2020. And I was sitting out there literally in my thickest clothes, whatever, I could put on so I wouldn't get eaten up by the mosquitoes, because as soon as I moved, then, one of the cats would get scared and then everybody else would scatter. That's how they got their name, Racer, Rocket, and Speedy. But Jiffy, the only girl, was the one that was shyest. And she's the one that ended up, being very wild. And she was the one that broke out of the catio and never came back, which was very strange. But it was around the time, when we had a lot of fireworks and stuff. So I don't know if she just stayed away. But she was very self-sufficient. So I, hope she was doing great. And she looked the same as Maisie, or the other way around. Maisie looks exactly like Jiffy used to look, with the white chest, and that's why I had to adopt Maisie with the white chest, because I wanted to make sure that that Polito, who was very close with Jiffy, it was basically his best girlfriend after Itty Bitty here. And, you know, they kept each other entertained. And so I wanted to find another girl for him that looked exactly like Jiffy so that he wouldn't act up, because he was very mean during that time, you know, after she left. And it was really, really, she's going in there. It was really hard. So then I found Maisie, and then it turns out he's a boy, but I think it's the best anyways, because you know, boys play rougher, so it's more of a match energy-wise than, you know, if it was another girl, and might be more sensitive, unless, you know, they, you know, were growing up with Bolito. So it all, you know, turned out pretty well, and sure enough, I mean, the best thing that could happen is that Maisie and Bolito turned out to be best friends. They're literally a match made in heaven. And then Itty Bitty is very happy. As you can see, she's such a cute girl. Yeah, she's such a cute girl. Sometimes I don't even realize she's around because she just kind of blends in. But I don't know, for some reason, the last few days she's been following me around. And then she's just eating more. And I also noticed that she peed on yet another catnip toy. So I guess I won't be able to have any more catnip toys, so nobody's going to get the catnip toys, and they really enjoy them, or I have to put them away. But the thing is, if there's catnip smell on the rug or something, I don't know if she would be peeing on that too, or if she's only peeing on the actual catnip toy. But that explains why some of the prior catnip toys smelled so funky. I thought it was all drool and stuff, but apparently she must have been doing this for quite some time, and finally I caught her after I bought everybody these new catnip toys. And of course I bought a lot more because everybody enjoyed them so much, and now I have them at home, and I don't know if I can trust having them around without her peeing on it. There she goes. All right, so I'm going to play a little bit more with her. And that is her mommy story.